This is WBA Super Middleweight Champion Andre Ward, and you're with Leave It in the Ring Radio.
Hola, soy Sergio Maravilla Martínez, esto es liveinthering.com.
Hola, soy Saúl el Canelo Álvarez y estás en Live the Ring Radio.
Bradley, and you're liveinthering.com.
Este que es Soto Caras, el renuente. Escúcheme por Live in the Ring Radio.
Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Victor Ortiz at liveinthering.com. So take care, guys.
How you doing? You're with Abner Mares, and you're right here with Leave It in the Ring Radio.
Andre Ward, though, 175, fought, Kovalev and made a retirement. He's now a commentator for ESPN Plus. Great commentary. I love when the guy talks. He's got a lot of knowledge. I know Ward, met Ward plenty of times. Remember him in the Olympics when he won gold. Remember his first fight in San Jose at the Shark Tank at the HP Pavilion. But listening to his commentary, anytime he's asked about Canelo, is it me, guys, or is the bitterness starting to bleed through this guy's skin about Canelo Alvarez? He sounds like the U.S. English version of Juan Marquez. Anytime Canelo's name's brought up, he has nothing good to say about the accomplishments that Canelo Alvarez has done.
It's not just that. It's like as soon as his name comes up, you can just feel him like, all right, they're saying nice things about him. I got to think of 3 or 4 things just to bring that down a bit because we can't be having this. And then I know we talked about a couple of weeks ago where, Canelo was being petty talking about Salvador Sanchez.
Right.
it feels similar. Or Floyd getting petty when they're talking about Tank. It's just like this old hats. These super competitive dudes are going to be petty and vindictive, but also just like true competitors that way too.
The only thing is Canelo is pound for pound king. He's taking out everybody. He's the most active fighter in boxing. Who else is doing it? No one even talks about when he beat Callum Smith. For years, people said that was his toughest matchup. They say he's way taller than Canelo. He hits like a horse. He would knock Canelo out.
Right.
And then a couple months later, Callum Smith knocks the dude out, and the guy looks dead on the ground. These are the guys that Canelo's beating the hell out of, 12-0, breaking their bicep, making them look like sea-level fighters. It's not normal what he's doing. No.
He's actually really filled into his prime. That's the scary part, What we saw him at 140, to 147, to 154, even at 160. 168 is really his home. And, when I think about, Ward, I think the reason why Ward doesn't want to give him the credit is because, as earlier we were talking, and Zach, you had brought up the Super 6. Here was Ward in a tournament that he was the underdog. And you had some of the best guys in the Super 6 tournament. It was 168, all fighting each other. It was a ring robin. And I think Ward feels, I could have unified division, but look at the level of competition I had to face. And look at the level of competition. It's almost about that, whataboutism. And that I'm kind of hearing from Ward. It's like, well, what about if he was fighting in the Super 6 when I was fighting? I'm almost like, it's almost like it's at the tip of his tongue where he wants to say that, he's not fighting the same guys I was fighting. He's not, he's not doing the same things that I was doing. I could have unified it, but I didn't. But you did it. You didn't unify it. Canelo did.
How old
is Ward? Back in my day.
Right. What was that, Zach?
How old is Ward at this point?
I want to say he's
35 or so.
Yeah, I was going to say 35. He's not that old.
Get in there with Canelo.
That's what I said. Oh, I'd love to see that. Come
back.
There
was a time. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, they were talking about it.
Better be a.
Right. Yeah. Same age. Hey, come back into the ring. Prove your point. But he hasn't said it yet. See, he hasn't went off and said, hey, this guy wouldn't have done any of this stuff if it was in my time. In my day.
Think part of this pettiness has to do with him viewing him as a potential future opponent and psyching himself up?
I don't know. What do you think, Zach?
I just think it's the arrogance and the pound-for-pound talk, and they're in the same division. And part of his mind, he probably thinks he can go in there and still whoop his ass. That's how fighters are. They're all,
Right.
You have to be an egomaniac to get in that position. Because if he didn't believe in himself, how would he win a tournament like that and beat all those guys and win the Olympic gold medal and go up to different divisions, stuff like that? So
I think Ward needs to just realize he is now that uncle at the barbecue cookout that everybody just says, Uncle, sit down. You ain't kicking anybody's ass today. Sit down, relax, have another rib, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros,